Hey guys, Dr. Ermacher here, here with a good friend, Dave Sharpe. Something that was supposed to just be a lunch date today turned into something, for a lot of you guys that know me, I'm a little bit of a hermit. I kind of mind my own business. If you've seen any of my things here lately, it's been more of Disney and the beach and just kind of doing my thing, and that was by design. But Dave here kind of got into my head a little bit. But it's okay, because people ask me a lot of times, what have I been doing? Most people know me from the chiropractic marketing space, helping chiropractors get new patients, which is a lot what I do. And I just share a lot of those things, and I do my business. But what I really do is I'm an online marketer, and that's kind of hard to explain. And when people look that up, they see a lot of shiny objects. There's so much out there about it. And I want to read real quick just a message I got this morning that sums it up real well. This guy said, I wanted to run a Facebook ad, so I made a couple changes. Couldn't figure out how to make a picture larger. The sign up doesn't work. Couldn't figure out where to add the Facebook pixel. He wants to get it all fixed. That's the confusion in the online space. And it can be a little bit overwhelming, So when Dave here was talking to me about this, talking about his new launch, I'd seen a little bit about it as far as what he was doing, but he really got my attention with a couple of different things. Number one was you can earn while you learn. Now, that's going to be real important, because we talked about how much money I spent, hundreds of thousands of dollars getting to where I'm at. And then I kind of had to still put them together. Nothing was linear in there. And so I liked that, but I also said, well, you and I are marketers. That's great. I know how to do this. I know the Facebook pixel. I've got outsourcers. We do these different things. But what about for the person that doesn't know anything about it, or they know a little bit, but they need to get to that next level, or they want to do something different and bigger? And that's where it came in, and I just called him out on it. I said, hey, what if someone's a rookie? What if my 7-year-old son, I wanted to show this, could he just follow what's going on there, and could he do what we're doing? And the answer was yes. So he sucked me in, got me out of my house. I'm excited about it too, because it's something that really resembled something I was doing back in 2011, 2012, kind of when we came on the scene. We were kind of laughing. Dave was, we came into one of his programs, and they were trying to figure out who I was, because we came on with such a big splash. So it's exciting to kind of maybe hook up here with Dave again and see what we can get done and expose you guys to it. See if it's something that you can kind of go down this path along with us. So I'm going to kind of turn it over here to Dave too. He's going to kind of walk through this and see if he can make it a little bit more linear for you. So Dave, thanks for pulling me out of the house.
Well, it's always nice to get a fellow hermit out of the house, because I can relate to that. We're both marketers, and Dr. Jeff here is somebody who I met back in 2011, and I had a company. That company went on to do about $170 million in sales. We're not new to this. That company paid out probably, I've done about $170 million. That company did about $150 million, and we paid out well over $100 million in that company. So we've helped a lot of people make money. And he came into the company. It was like, who the heck is this guy, right? Because when I found out he was a chiropractor and had practices, and that was I just couldn't put first I was having a hard time putting the pieces together. It was like, okay, so you're a chiropractor, how are you? But it was simple. Marketing. And when you know marketing, you can do anything that you want in the world. You can make as much money as you want. You can it doesn't matter what niche you're in. Good marketing translates over. We were talking about that earlier. Good marketing translates over.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you know how to market, you can make money. So Jeff, he and his crew figured out marketing, and so they made a bunch of money in that company. And I sense, obviously that was 4 years ago, 3, 4, 5 years ago, something like that. So now, kind of meeting back up, and living in close to each other, it's been nice. So we're going to talk to you today about, how you can basically end up on the winning side. There's a difference between being rich and poor, and I think this will be applicable to so many of you guys. A lot of you guys know who Robert Kiyosaki is. I'm going to have some slides here for you guys as well as kind of talking to you. He said investing isn't risky, not being in control is risky. And a lot of people who own businesses, which you guys, probably a lot of you guys do have your own practice, right? You own a business. But what a lot of people don't understand is really what they have is they own a job. And there's a difference. Okay, so Robert, I don't want to reinvent the wheel. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I know how to find people who can communicate things in an intelligent way, more so than I can a lot of times. I haven't seen a guy break it down this easy. So he said, there's 4 different places you could be. You can be an employee trading time for money. You can be self-employed, right, which is where basically you own your job. Okay, and a lot of people, they say, I've got my own business, I'm a business owner, but it's like they walk away from their job for a day and the money stops. Right. Okay, then there's the right-hand side of the cash flow quadrant, which Kiyosaki talks about is where you want to be. And some of you guys may be there, many of you may not be there yet. Okay, that's where you have a system and you have people working for you. Okay, and then of course, if you have enough money, you have your money working for you. There's a big issue, though, with a lot of entrepreneurs, professional service people, even doctors, chiropractors. I know personally have other chiropractic friends who have been running their practice for a long time and just really have a glorified job, right? And again, that may be you, may not be you. But it's important to understand that difference while we're talking through this, because what we want to show you today is not only how you can use this marketing knowledge, because right here you're seeing a combined marketing gross revenue into the hundreds of millions of dollars in sales online. You're looking at a guy over here who doesn't have that big crazy beard, really, because his job has a dress code of you must have a beard.
That's right.
He has the beard because he can do whatever the heck he wants to do, and I had a beard just that crazy a couple of years ago because I could do whatever the heck I wanted to do. And so we don't want to pull you out of the current career that you're in, but we want to teach you and show you a really cool way that you can create an additional stream of income, and maybe even multiple streams of income, that will not only put you in that business owner category to where you can have a system and people working for you in this internet business, but also you might learn some things that will help you in your other business too, to be able to create more leverage there. First, I want to talk about this kind of what we're doing here. It's called Legendary Marketer, and there's 6 guiding principles behind Legendary Marketer. The first principle is you must have integrity and authenticity. I don't know what else to say about that. There's so many different programs and gurus and everything out there online nowadays that, if you are just not straight up, I don't care what your background is, I don't care what you claim, how many degrees you have, if you just can't tell the truth, so I believe that as a company and as a business, it's the number one thing we must have, and I believe that every business must operate in total authenticity and total integrity, right? Because today, more than ever, if you don't, the other bad thing about that is you get exposed real quick, okay? And for me, and my dad taught me that, he's a blue-collar construction worker, and he has probably lost more money on his jobs than anything because he just stayed longer and made sure the job was done right. He taught me that earlier, so I've carried that over into my businesses. The second guiding principle is if you're going to start a business, okay, and especially every business needs good marketing, you must use GTFM marketing strategies. Now, what does that mean? It means get the freaking money. Okay, and you can put that, you can trade out that freaking however passionate you feel, right? But there's so many courses and books and gurus. Everybody's got a different philosophy. One will say, well, you have to start a YouTube channel and record 100 videos. And the other will say, you have to write a New York Times bestseller. And the other one will say, well, if you're not using webinars, then if you don't have, there's a million different philosophies that really, in my opinion, just kind of keep you intertwined in this vicious cycle of being overwhelmed. Because then if I'm the guru, I can sell you more stuff. For me, I believe, which leads me to the next principle, money over BS. Okay? I'm not interested, and I know you're not interested in how intelligent I am or how successful I've been if you can't duplicate that in your life, right? If you want to watch smart people, watch Jeopardy. Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous will show you like big houses and fancy cars. But for me, the education in the program and the system must be simple, and it must be results oriented. The fourth principle, you must have premium price products. Now this comes into the marketing aspect, which I'll talk more about here in a second. But you can't just have, for example, if you're a chiropractor, you can't just have, one service to where it's like $147 service. You're never going to be able to scale that. You have to have something on the back end, because you have your loss leader that gets people in the door, and then you have your profit maximizer that actually creates your real revenue. That's how you get into 6 and 7 figures. You must have premium price products, and you must have the systems in place that sell them effortlessly, right? It can't feel like you're pitching people. Think about if you're a chiropractor. If somebody comes in your practice and you can't lock the door behind them and say, "Sir, you're not leaving until you hand me a check for $10,000. It doesn't work like that. In today's economy, you must create enough value and have a good enough system that leads them to want to give you more money. The fifth principle, if you're going to learn from somebody, they must give you an A to Z solution. None of this, give me A through M and then, the rest is secret and you got to pay $50,000 for it, or it's like just left out because maybe the person doesn't know how to teach it. It's important, for me anyways, that if we teach you something, it's the complete, here's how to start, here's how to finish, everything in between. The sixth principle, and this is very important, I'm always learning. I mean, I've done now 9 figures, and I was a high school dropout, and that's no knock to being a high school dropout. It's no knock if you've graduated college and are a doctor. But my point is that learning is a part of growing, and if you're not growing, you're dying. There's been a lot of studies that have shown that people feel happy when they're making progress, not particularly when they're rich, right? So it's important for our growth to learn. It's also important for our income to grow too. But the problem is that most people, they don't have time for a learning curve.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, I don't know. Doc, do you have another 8 years? Most of us don't, right? I mean, if you have another 8 years, maybe you go back, right? You do some continued education. You spend another $100,000 on education, college, right? Or something like that. Yeah. And maybe you could make another 20 or 40 or 60,000 a year. Yeah. But most people don't have that. Most people don't have that luxury of the learning curve. So you must, especially if you want to learn how to create multiple streams of income through internet marketing, which, I mean, there is no better opportunity than the internet right now. Whether you're trying to build a practice and grow a practice, or whether you're trying to grow a business online. You must have the ability, though, to earn while you learn. The days of, in my opinion, and again, I'm not knocking college at all, because obviously many of you went to college to be able to get to where you're at right now, but for me, if I'm not able to earn while you're teaching me something, I'm going to go do something else. Because quite frankly, I got bills to pay, and I know how to make money on demand automatically at this point, whether I work or not. So let me ask you, what's your monthly number? And this is a practical guide to setting goals, but more importantly, ask you, really, first and foremost, how much do you want to earn? Second of all, how many hours a week are you able to work your business? And third, how long are you willing to commit to this goal? Because, I mean, if you just, and you guys are all smart, if you're wanting $100,000 a month extra on the side with, 15, 20 minutes a week, it's not realistic, and we're not going to pitch you on that. This is not about hype, it's about leverage. Okay? But more importantly, if we go backwards, how many hours a week do you have? I mean, my guess is you're as busy or more than, probably more busy than I am. I don't want to admit how many hours I work a week, because there's a lot of people who get mad, right, when they know how much I make and how much I work. It's I work when I want to work. But I've got systems. I'm on the right-hand side of the cash flow quadrant. So if I walk away from my business for a day or a week or even a month, my income doesn't drop. Okay, and I'm transparent. I'm probably one of the most transparent business owners and online marketers out there who actually show people my stats. Okay, so think about this question. How many hours are you able to work a week? And as we continue through this, I think you'll see that there's some options that could cost you a lot of hours, and then there's some other options that may not cost you nearly as much.
You know, we go back to that for a minute, because that was a big breakthrough for me when I looked at something this of, what did I really want to create? I had to take a look at my own priorities too. For me, it's my faith, my wife, my kids, a whole bunch of other crap after that. And so why was I spending so much time working if these were my priorities? So I took a look at those and I broke them down, and it took me a while to evolve through that. But now I spend more time with those three things and less time on all the other stuff. But it's by design. Like you said, you have to take a look at these and say, well, what's realistic and what can I do? And for me, there was even a time when it's like, well, I only really need like $6-7 grand a month, and I can live pretty good, and I can do a lot of the things that I like. And then there's times when I just feel like I want to challenge, and it's like, how much can I make just because I can, you know? So taking a look at those things and really creating something around your priorities, because you can make a lot of money. You can make what you need to travel around the world on $2-3 grand a month. It's not that difficult. But taking a look at these and really wrapping your mind around those, because it's something you have to answer, and then you just go and do it, and you can do the math. Marketing is math. And when you see it this way, you just say, okay, that's what I want to do. Here's the math to get there. And then don't be afraid to change these things down the road too. Now you're like, oh, I want to do this now. Change your math. Figure out different priorities, whatever the case may be. It's a moving target, but when you understand the math and the marketing, you can revolve it around those priorities. So that's a great slide.
Everything is math, right? Whether it's marketing or whether it's lifestyle design.
Absolutely.
Which is what this is. How much do I want to make? How many hours do I have to do it? And how long am I willing to commit, right?
No doubt.
I mean, but how many hours in that, how much do I want to make is real important, because you really do have some options there if you know where. It's kind of like, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And I believe that money making is the same thing. Whether you're doing it in your practice or whether you're doing it on internet marketing, creating multiple streams of income that are running in the background, it's all about, a little bit of what you know. It's a lot about who you know, who can show you how to do this, right?
Yeah, if you're hanging around with poor people, you keep down that road. You hang around with people, again, nothing the difference between the wealthy and the poor as far as character, but as far as when it comes to making money, and if you want to change your lifestyle, I want to hang around with people way smarter than me and that make a lot more money.
Right. So let's talk about the secret internet marketing formula to create $1 million business, because I want this video to be valuable to you, and I want to break down what really people spend years trying to figure out and a lot never do. So how would I know this? Well, my accomplishments, as I said before, I've done $170 million in sales. I've had multiple companies that are $1 million plus companies. My videos have been viewed millions of times all around the world, and typically it's just either on an iPhone or it's just one videographer. It's nothing special. It's not high, a lot of big production. I've had 300,000 people learn by going through my actual courses and becoming customers and buying stuff from me to learn this marketing stuff. I don't have any debt. That's a big thing. I own my life. I own my house, right? I own I don't have any credit card debt. Okay, so my lifestyle, it's not just a front behind the scenes, it matches, it's congruent, because this business has given me the ability to be able to do that. More importantly, like you were talking about, I have my priorities in order as well. Spirituality, family, I have a brand new daughter. My dad, my mom works with me. I'm with my dad, 3-4 times a week. So this business allows me to have those priorities in this formula that I'm going to show you, and it is a proven formula, right? And what I've learned is if you can duplicate, Tony Robbins said it. Whether you like Tony or not, whether you think he's a hype machine or whether you think he's the best thing in the world, because usually people are either like he's a total scam or he's awesome, right? He said something that was so practical to me. He said, if you want to get the same results, if you want to be successful, find somebody who's successful and just do what they do and you'll get what they got. Now that's been repeated and regurgitated, and maybe he was the first one to say it was the first one I ever heard it from. Maybe he wasn't, who knows? It's pretty simple. But what I want to talk about is not only this formula, but hopefully we can show you a way here throughout this video to duplicate this exact formula. So first and foremost, Let's get you to understand it. The secret internet formula is something that's called the value ladder, and it's real simple. Okay, I'm going to give you some examples here in a second too. If you want to take, and I'm just, if you're a woman, it'd be, maybe you could think of this from a woman's perspective, but if you're a dude and you want to like, take a chick out on a date, and you, as soon as you pull up, you go right for, the home run. I mean, she's probably going to slap you, and she should, right? So internet marketing, business building is a little bit the same as dating. You can't be a horny teenager who just tries to jump the bones of every woman that you see. You've got to, maybe date, dinner.
Create a little value, a little worth.
Right. So the same in business. It's kind of like a restaurant. You come in, it's like if they just, as soon as you walked in the door, which sometimes we like this, but it's like it's nice to have an appetizer before we just, it's like take our time, have an appetizer. Business works the same way. You start them out with something free. Maybe as a chiropractor, you'd give a free consultation, a free adjustment, something like that. We can actually give an example of a dentist value ladder. So it's like maybe you bring them in for a free teeth cleaning. That would be a kind of a good promotion. You send a direct mail piece out, you put an ad on Facebook, free teeth cleaning, right? And then they come in, and it's like, well, hold on a second. Your teeth look a little, like they could use a whitening. Well, gosh, man, I want to make sure, I want some pearly whites. Give me that whitening, right? Boom, all of a sudden, $100, $200, $200. Now it's all of a sudden you've got some value, you've built some trust, you did a good job, retainer or braces or maybe some cosmetic work, and we can suddenly find ourselves in the thousands of dollars, whereas all really somebody intended to do was just come in and get that free cleaning. Now,
Absolutely.
What would be, it'd be something similar in chiropractor, maybe come in, get a free adjustment?
There's the free consultation. There's the discounted, exams. There's something along those lines. There's adjustments. So different things. Yeah, it is that kind of that front end. Come in, let's see what you got. Here's the wellness plan. Here's the correction plan.
Right.
Yes.
It's like come in, let's give you the value up front. One of the easiest ways to help somebody make money is to build trust is to actually help somebody up front.
Absolutely.
What a novel concept. It's like, of course I want to ask for money. I'm in business. I'm not running a nonprofit. But hold on, pay me before I do anything. It's kind of like, no. People, they don't respond to that. It's bad marketing. So it's like, give them something that brings them in, something for free. If you could understand that same formula translates over onto the internet as well, it's an instant $1 million formula, just if you understand that concept. Most people try to go for the home run. They're the horny teenage marketer, right? Just give me the $5,000, dude. What are we doing?
Absolutely.
Right? But people need to be massaged, okay? So if you understand that, you remember that. I'll give you an example of our value ladder here at Legendary Marketer. We start people out for $30 a month. We have some upsells in there that give them more value. We have some back-end, high-end events that allow our affiliates to be able to earn not only our customers, after we give them so much value up front that they want to continue to learn from us, right? They would buy it even if there was no opportunity attached to it. But for us as business owners and online marketers, which is what we're talking to you about, this opportunity, as we escalate and ascend, or that's ascend somebody up through this value ladder, you as that affiliate now have the ability to be able to take home, these $2,000, these $3,000, these $4,000 commissions. And here's the thing that's so beautiful about that is that, if they started out the same way that anyone needs to start out, which is with a value-driven front-end offer. So understanding that value ladder is very important, and it's really the secret to this whole thing. We kind of come off as, it's like, whoa, Dave, he's smart. It's like, not really. I know a few things. You asked me to go fix your car, or even though I was in construction, fix your house. Listen, it's going to be a disaster. But when it comes to making money in any business, I just apply the same blueprint to it, okay? So let's talk about how to duplicate my hands-free internet marketing business and put it on autopilot, okay? Whether you're a seasoned pro or you're just getting started. Now, why am I going to show you how to duplicate my hands-free internet marketing business. Because it's kind of along the same lines of what Tony Robbins said. It's like, would you rather somebody teach you how to do it? And it's kind of like, college in a sense, right? The professor who's never done it takes 4 years to explain it, and then you got to go then figure it out. Now, this is not a knock. I know a lot of you guys are educated, so I'm pushing the line here, but it's true, isn't it? Right?
No doubt.
What if instead, which is cool, what a lot of colleges are starting to do, somebody like Mark Bezos or somebody like Mark Cuban comes in and says, this is the exact formula of how I built this business, just go duplicate it, dude.
Right.
I mean, honestly, do you want the hard way or the easy way? How much time do you have? I would assume your practice probably takes up quite a bit of your time. So do you want the hard way, or would you rather duplicate something that already works? So I talked about the value funnel, okay? And I gave you an example of a couple of different niches. And as you could see, it kind of translated in different niches. But the truth is that it's not as easy as it looks. And that's what most gurus don't tell you. They say, oh, dude, this is all you got to do, and just go do it. And it's like, okay, 6 months into it, you're going, I'm dead.
Because they're ready to sell you the next course.
Well, of course,
they got to keep
because
you
they didn't
confused
give
the whole
you A
time.
through Z solutions.
Absolutely.
They gave you A through D, and now you got to buy E through whatever.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's kind of the business model. And the truth is that for me, I've built a career off of just telling the truth. So what I'm going to tell you guys is brace yourself, because some honesty is coming. Okay, there was a guy, and I'll refer you to this. I'm not going to say anything bad about him. His name's Rich. He wrote a book called Internet Business Manifesto, and he talks about how to build an internet marketing business. Okay, and the guy's a successful internet marketer, so he knows what he's talking about. The problem is, how much time do you have? Do you have time for the learning curve? Do you want 1 million employees? Do you want to have the whole set? My assumption is you probably already got a business. You want something on the side that could potentially get you out of that business maybe one day. So when I look at this, I actually looked at the front cover, the visual on the book, and I literally got a headache. I got overwhelmed.
There's a lot going on.
We're talking about everything from deliverability, list management, handling merchant accounts. I mean, guys, if we talked about each one of these, it'd be a 3-day workshop. Absolutely. I mean, just to cover a little bit about each one. And it's true, it's what's required, and you guys know it as business owners, if you have a business, that there's a lot of moving parts. The truth is that if you see some hot, hypey video on the internet that says, get rich, by just clicking your mouse twice, then it's not true. And most people, when they buy into that sort of a message, they end up feeling like they have scrambled egg brain. And most of them end up, a lot of them end up asking for help. Most of them just end up quitting because they just feel like they're frustrated, or it was a scam or something like this. It's not. Okay, it's doable, but like I said, it's not as easy as it looks. So for us, in being internet marketers, and for me, I looked at and I said, okay, I've helped people earn a lot of money. What really is what is necessary to give somebody like you, right? Because this is really for people who are smart enough to, it's for people who have enough hunger and desire to at least take action, to at least watch a video and say, okay, I'm committed enough to at least watching a video. For those kind of people, how can we make something that they can earn a couple of $1,000s in their spare time? Realistically, without doing MLM, the two get two thing, right? That's right. Like, come on, give me a break.
Run out of twos real
right,
fast.
You run out of twos real fast, right? Or somebody didn't live up to their end of the bargain.
I burned out my Facebook list.
I got my 2. Why didn't you get your 2, Joe? So I mean, that's not what we're talking about here, okay? Because most likely we've all done one of those, and I've been in network marketing before, but the truth of the matter is that I'm in a different season of my life, and I need something that can work fast, and that's real, and that's a real system. Because I don't want to be doing home and hotel meetings. I don't want to be doing, that's not where I'm at, okay? I don't want to be doing, I don't want to be on the phone pounding people. I don't want to be cold calling. I don't want to be on Facebook all day. I don't want to be doing webinars all the time. I don't want to have to write a bestseller. okay, that's going to take me 6 months, that I'm going to want to stick a fork in my eye and run into traffic. I don't want to do any of that stuff, right? So I asked myself, what if? And I started to ask people too. I said, what if I just gave you all the ads and I showed you exactly where to post them? So you didn't have to write the copy, you didn't have to shoot the videos, you didn't have to create the images, and I showed you exactly where to post them. So how to run Facebook. Actually, we just did an amazing Facebook training this morning, right? Jeff came through and sat through that. So what if I gave you all the ads and I showed you exactly where to place them and what to do, so you didn't have to even get behind the camera, right? Unless you wanted to. You had them there. I've done $170 million in sales. What if you could just duplicate me, right? What if I handled all the email follow-up and there was nothing for you to set up or write? I started to ask people that. Because, I mean, copywriting is a skill. It's necessary. Words sell. But most people are not copywriters. Most people are not technically savvy. So what if I just did all that for you? What if I created all the high-converting marketing material like the sales letters and the videos? I mean, again, if you want me to cook you dinner, I might burn the steak.
Time to go out to eat.
Right? That's why my biggest expense each month is food. But when it comes to creating high-converting video sales letters, pages, funnels, offers, systems that convert sales, to the tune of one of our campaigns that we just got done running, we ran 1,530 leads through it. So not a ton. And for every single email opt-in we generated, we made $26 in profit after advertising. We did $40,000 in revenue. We spent about $11,000 in ads. So we made about $29,000 in profit.
I'll spend that all day.
I mean, most people, if you could
ask me how many times I can spend that when you have a converting funnel. And you know, it's funny, this is what he had me at, because I'm in different forums and people will always be willing to give their advice. Everyone behind the computer, they're going to give their advice. But when it comes out to something like this, hey, can you just show me what ad you ran? Oh, what landing page you run? It's crickets.
Absolutely.
So either no one really knows or no one's has the abundant mindset to share it. So many people could use all this same stuff and be a part of it, and there's no competition. There's, what, 8 billion people on the planet. You know, there's almost 2 billion people on Facebook.
Yeah.
Your abundant mindset to just say, just here it is.
Right.
Have it. Start the earning, then start learning along with it. Because there's a lot, and I'll never have it all figured out. There's so many things, but man, just to see that, it just overcame that question that I see all the time in the forums and Facebook groups of, just show me what you got going now, you know, because there's a lot to it.
There is, and you're right. I've asked that too, and most people are not willing to show their numbers either, right? Like, what are you really doing? What are you really making? There's a lot of screenshots, but guys, Photoshop exists, right? I mean, come on. So, you know, you'll see in a lot of my sales videos and stuff, there's probably a link down here. We're doing an event coming up, so we want to invite you down to the event. We've got some sales videos too for you to look at, and I'm pretty transparent. But back to this, I asked people, I said, what if my customer support team handled all the questions and requests for you, right? What if you could just use them as if they were your own, but I'll pay them. They're on my salary. What if my tech team built all those funnels that did all the converting traffic into leads and leads into sales? So what if I gave you the ads, showed you where to place them, I did the email follow-up, so there was nothing for you to set up or write. You know, you used all my videos, and what if there was a plethora of different options that you can use, right? You use my tech team, my customer support team, and then remember how I mentioned premium price products? What if instead of you going out and hiring a phone sales team, what if my phone sales team closed those premium price products for you and you got paid when a sale was made? So that's the difference between being in that left-hand side of the cash flow quadrant and the right-hand side, which is why I showed you that at the beginning of this video. The difference between you being rich and poor is you're either on the left-hand side or the right-hand side. you've either got people who you're leveraging. It's sort of like if you've got a practice and there's 10 chiropractors in there and they're all working for you, you figured it out. You figured it out. So the problem with most internet marketers is that or most even network marketing, right? That's kind of why it's like, yeah, I got to do all the phone calls.
Right.
I'm not going to be cold calling. So what if my phone sales team did all the premium price product selling for you, and when a sale is made, you got a huge commission deposited directly into your bank account, right? So we give you the ads, you fill your pipeline, you're spending maybe 20 to 30 minutes a day, if that, checking email, looking at your back office, checking commissions, placing little ads exactly where we tell you, giving you the ads and showing you exactly how to do it. And then the system. Again, remember, I'm a systems guy. So this is about duplicating what I have in my business. And for me, I'm not going to build something that's going to be a ball and chain for me, right? So welcome to Legendary Marketer. And what we want to do is a couple of different things. We're a little different in the sense that we don't just hide behind our computer like so many different programs. It's like who you never can meet the CEO. It's like, who is the CEO? Well, we don't really know. We've never met him. We just see a picture of him on the website. He's in a suit. He kind of looks uncomfortable. And he's kind of like this guy who's kind of in a far off, like unreached. No, we do events. And our events, they're not just events, they're experiences. And they're an opportunity for you to come and experience what we do in a flesh, in a flesh to flesh environment, not just watching a screen. So we want to invite you to an event that's coming up, okay, that you can come and you can learn, and that's a reasonable price, okay? We want to invite you to come and experience 3 days of value, and whether you decide to earn with us or whether you decide to just learn from us, you'll walk away with a completely different perspective on making money, whether it be in your own practice or whether it be on the internet with your own hands-free automated business. And then we also have some sales videos that you can watch that will give you kind of an overview and allow you to get started for as little as $30, right? For $30 a month, you're started, you're beginning to learn, you're putting your hands and digging into the content that we have. And if you want, you can just learn. But if you want, you can also earn. And you can become a part of our team, and we'll show you, if you haven't yet figured out how to go from that left-hand side to that right-hand side of that cash flow quadrant, we'll let you use our business and duplicate it in your own business to get the same exact results as we're getting. And we've got new people here. One guy, I just saw him, made $13,000. It was his biggest day of his career. And he had never done internet marketing before. As a matter of fact, he had a baby in Michigan. He lives in somewhere in Florida, and he came over and met me before he got started, just because he was local and we were able to connect. And he was like, I don't know what to do. He was just had a million questions, and I said, just follow the training, man. Just get started and just do it. And we saw on the Facebook group he had a $13,000 day. Yeah. People are filling their pipeline by just placing the ads that we're giving them, and then we take over from there. So if you've ever heard of automated income, okay, or up until this point you've thought that it was a myth, we're not here to make income claims and guarantees that you're going to get the same exact results. But what I can tell you is, if you've never experienced automated income, okay, if you think that it's a myth, I'm here to tell you that you're wrong. It's real, and it's happening for people all over the world right now who are involved with us. So anyways, final thoughts?
Yeah,
Questions or anything?
I just look at this, being a part of it, it's really the what's working now too, because there's a lot of things out there. This is not a stagnant thing. This is something that, hey, ads change. We see that. You run an ad for a while, it gets old, whatever it is. It's just, you're always on top of it. You got pros running the ads, and then they just say, here's this. This is what we're doing. So being a part of something that's a moving thing, it's a living thing, That's one of the most powerful things you can have right there. Is it's not last year's YouTube marketing or Facebook marketing. It's what's going on today, and you just saw that in the the group with the guys' commissions. So
yeah, I mean, part of Legendary Marketer is all about bringing in the best people. I'm not the expert in everything, but I'll tell you what, I got a lot of connections. I know a lot of people who are. So we bring in the best in Facebook ads. We bring in the best in YouTube ads. We bring in, Jeff, who's an expert at conversion, who is depending on when you watch this, is either going to do or has done presentations on our stages, to teach people how to really understand how to convert sales in different conversion points. And there's a couple of rules that you must follow when learning from somebody. They must make it simple. They got to make it simple, because if you can't understand it, you can't implement it. They must have results, right? They got to have the results. Nowadays everybody and their brother, they get one sale or get one patient or whatever, and they want to be a guru and create a course and write a book. And it's just like, oh, stop. I mean, the only reason why I created this was not because I really want to be busy or anything like that. It's just because sometimes if you can't have what you want, you got to do it yourself. And I won't put my name on something that doesn't have total authenticity and integrity. And there's one thing that I can tell you, is that I've seen a lot of things and been a part of a lot of things, and most things lack just that one thing. So with that, it was like, hey, if I got to do it myself. And we may not always, whatever. I mean, we might not always make everybody happy, but at the end of the day, we're going to do it right and put people over profits, or at least as important as profits.
right.
And we're going to give them the stuff that's actually going to help them have results. And we don't care if you stay here for as long as 5 or 10 years and earn and learn with us, or hopefully we can teach you something to where you can just go off and blossom and just have a full-time career as an internet marketer. That's our goal.
That's cool.
So there's a link. Hopefully you guys will join us at the event. Jeff's probably going to have some, I don't know, maybe some cool stuff or something for you guys. I would just say get to the event, and also take a test drive of our system, and let us know what you think.
Yeah, that's cool. Like I said, probably have a link somewhere. This was kind of short notice, but I'll come up with some great bonuses for anyone that wants to come, whether that's walking through your current campaigns for your practice. Maybe we come up with a private group, that you can look at my campaigns as well. Whatever it is. So hit me up. We'll talk about some bonuses. Way more value packed into this. I can't even believe Dave's almost given away the event. So would definitely love to see you there. I'm looking forward to it. There's some underground guys, which you guys will see on the videos, that I'm looking forward to seeing their stuff.
Yeah, one last thing. We want to make sure that this is not just the motivational, actors up on our stages and doing our courses who haven't, actually implemented in 20 years, right? But they're still up on the stage. We're bringing in people who know what the heck they're doing. I mean, guys like Jeff, right? I mean, there's a whole audience of our community that needs to know what Jeff knows. And why do we want him teaching it on our stages? Is because he's doing it every day, and he's living the dream life. And I mean, what better person to learn from? I consider that a legendary marketer, somebody who's going to leave an impact on somebody's life. You can either be temporary or legendary, in my opinion. And it's like for so many people, they're temporary in their business. They're temporary with their impact. They're temporary with their imprint, right? But if you know just small tweaks in what you do and how you do it, it becomes lasting change for you and other people. And so again, check us out, and I think I'm confident you won't be disappointed. So I appreciate you guys' time. Hopefully you enjoyed this, learned something, and I'm looking forward to shaking you guys' hand.
Right on. We'll see you guys at the event.